All right, I think we're going to get started. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this morning for our latest installment of Solutions for Success. Today's session and content will be on Microsoft Teams Phone. This may be something that some of you are running. It may be something that some of you are considering. Certainly, a vast majority of our clients are using Microsoft Teams. Teams Phone is a natural extension to that, with everyone sort of familiar and comfortable with participating in Teams meetings, maybe internal calling, things like that. So this really is an extension of that, potentially replacing an old phone system that you've got, and certainly it fits well into the hybrid workforce. So without further ado, John Zeri, our CEO at Point Alliance, will be our presenter today, and I will turn it over to him.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our latest edition of the Solution for Success education series. A couple of things. We are recording this session, so will be posted on our YouTube channel right after this webinar available, and also the slides, if you need those slides, are also going to be posted on our website at pointalliance.com/ under events. So that's it for this. Move this forward. Sorry, I'm thinking, go here. And our agenda for today, just a couple of slides to tell you who we are if you don't know us. Introduction to Microsoft Teams Phone, live demo. We're going to talk about licensing and pricing on this one, some additional resources. We talk about upcoming events, and of course, we do have a draw today at the end of this webinar. For a gift provided by our friends at the HP Poly, a Voyager 360. These are amazing devices that you can use, can connect it to your, they're team certified. So this is our giveaway for today. So here we go. About Point Alliance, you already met my colleague, Jonathan Hamilton. He's the president of Point Alliance. You can connect with him on the LinkedIn through the QR code. My name is John Zeri. I'm the CEO of Point Alliance, and also you can find me on the LinkedIn as well. Point Alliance is a Microsoft solution partner with a 4 designation, which is that's thanks to our hard work of our team. Our team is 100% Microsoft certified, and we're proud of that. You can find additional information at our website under pointalliance/company profile. That's it. Let's jump into the introduction to Microsoft Teams Phone. So I just realized I need to share and unshare this page because there's the audio on the next page. Just give me one moment. And you should be able to hear the audio. Yeah.
In an increasingly complex world, sometimes you just need to make a simple phone call. Using Microsoft Teams calling plans, direct routing, or Operator Connect, you can call virtually any number in the world, right from your Teams app. Simply enter the number and place the call. And of course, you can use Teams to receive incoming calls, whether it's an audio call from a traditional phone number or a voice or video call over the internet with another Teams colleague. And with built-in spam call notifications, Teams helps you save time by giving you the option to decline calls that might disturb your workflow.
All right, that was just a short video, kind of give you an overview of what we will talk today. Again, for those of you not familiar with Teams Phone, it is a cloud-based phone system integrated with Microsoft Teams, and that's one of the reasons most of our clients are really like the Teams Phone, because over the last 5 or 6 years that Team software has been around, many organizations has adopted the Teams, and we are already using it for meeting. Maybe we go on the video or not, or audio. Again, taking a phone call is not any different. And it just makes sense because you have the security of your Microsoft environment and the Teams is integrated into it. So it's very easy. The user adoption is very easy. You already have the software and And all that happens when you add the licenses, the keypad shows up, so you can actually make calls externally and receive calls from outside. And the other great thing about it is regardless of the device type, right? So I can be on my laptop, can be on my iPad, could be on my phone, or on the browser. I can receive or make phone calls. And that's very important, again, regardless of where you are or the device you're using. So some of the key features for the users, of course, make and answer calls. That's great. Merge calls. So that's like a three-way calling or more. So if, just say you're on a call with your colleague and somebody else calls, you can merge that or even add more people to it on the fly. Transfer calls between devices. This is great because we have times that the calls goes longer, or even with the meetings you can do that. That you were on transit and now you have come to the office, right? So you want to move that from your mobile phone to your desk, or vice versa from your desk to your mobile phone. So that is the transparent, and the other parties won't even know that that change has happened. Again, transfer and ring back, and that's the option. So let's just say you got a call and said, you know what, a person want to talk to one of your colleague. So what you can do, you can easily transfer that call to another colleague of yours. There's two options available. Of course, you can transfer it just like that, and if they're available or not, or you can transfer, but with the fact of you can ask the person, would you like to take this call? So you get the confirmation and you transfer the call. Accessing your voicemail. So with the Microsoft Teams, the voicemails will arrive as an email in your mailbox as a transcript if it's able to transcribe that message with the attachment. Also within your Microsoft Teams platform, either from desktop, browser, or mobile phone, there's a tab says voicemail. You can go to voicemail and you can listen to all your voicemails. So they'll all be stored there. So that's very easy. And transcribing your calls. So all calls are transcribed. So if it's, again, sometimes it's easier, just kind of, you can read through it. One thing I like about that, when the emails arrive in my inbox with a voicemail, I like to keep them with my client folder so I can move them to that folder too easily. And it still will be available on the Teams under voicemail. So those are great features that is available for the users. And again, there are many, many other features as well. We're just highlighting some of them right now. For administrative, again, we always want to make sure that how is the call. So call analytics is available. You can look at that the call qualities. You can look at the call duration. You can see who is using the Teams phone or not. So that's important for user adoption, right? So you want to make sure that people are using that. Auto addendum and call queue. So basically what you do, if you do adopt the Microsoft Teams for your phone, would be the fact of that all the greetings, and you can build a whole sitemap of that thing. So when the call come in, so for example, ours is during the work hours, as a hello and welcome to Point Alliance. And then we give them option to the user. Press 1 for the support, press 2 for accounting, or talk to one of our sales people, press 3. But after hours will be a different message, right? So you can say 9 to 5 is this, and that also you can set up for the stats holidays, right? So again, it's very important. So if we are closed for like just say Canada Day, when we have clients overseas, they might not know that day is a holiday and wondering nobody's answering. So you can have set up all those things ahead of time. So they're all built into it. So it's very comprehensive, and you can set up multi-level, bilingual, multilingual if you want to. So when the greeting coming, you can let the user select for English press 1, for French press 2, and go through that. And then once you route this thing, let's just say you have a support team, but it's not one person, it's a team of people. So you can create what's called call queues. So call queues allow you to have multiple people on it. And when the call rings, you can have them all rings at the same time, or call in order, or again, who took the last call, and it depends on their business. And also if they're in office or not. So again, it's very easy, and that's great for the hybrid world, right? So it doesn't matter where you are, you can be part of that call queue. Emergency call management, because the 911 is also available. If in case make an emergency call, you can do that. User management is easy. Let's just imagine you hire somebody, you onboard them. All you have to do is give them an office license and you give them a team license. Once the team license is there, you just go to Microsoft Team Admin Center and assign a phone number. As easy as that. You don't have to talk to the phone company. You don't have to do anything. And also, great thing about the Microsoft Teams, you don't pay based off the number of the phone numbers you have. Let's just say you have 400 numbers, but you only have 200 users. So only the licensed people you will pay those licenses for. So again, the numbers are there. It is in your Teams admin center, and you can assign them as is. And there's other features too. One feature I like the fact is that let's just say you had a user that was using a phone number 1234 and they're not there anymore. So if somebody called them, you can set up calling plan within the Microsoft team to say, okay, if that number is not assigned to someone, if somebody called that number directly, send them back to the auto attendant to the main number. So stuff like that. That there might be a small, but it's really create efficiency and better customer service for the people that calling your organization. Policies and permissions, again, you can set it up. That could be about who can make a long distance call, for example, then maybe certain people are allowed to do that. There's a bunch of policies, but all those things, again, the security is very important because your voicemails or information is not at some mercy of some vendor. They're all within your Microsoft 365 tenant and is all secure. And reporting is very important as well. So you can get all kind of reports from how many people called the auto attendant, how many people called the call queue, what's the duration of the call was that. You can get the stats like that. And then all those reports allow you to also export them to Excel if you want to do a more comprehensive reporting base of it. So that's very important too, and which is a great feature. And one of the things is that Microsoft over the last 4 or 5 years, I said they have put lots of effort in improving Teams. It's not a week that goes by, there's a new addition has been added to the Microsoft Teams. So that's very important. And you can see that, again, we've been on it for over 6 years, I would say at least, but the software is only getting better and better every day. So as you heard on the video, they mentioned Operator Connect, Teams Phone Mobile, and direct routing. So the basic model is that when you buy a license, you buy a license called Teams Phone with the calling plan. Basically, you let the Microsoft to be your PSTN carrier, right? You're not working with any other vendor, Bell, Rogers, or Telos, anybody. Microsoft is a vendor, and that's the most simple and most efficient way to go. But what's happened? You might have a situation that you are, because of the licensing or cost or anything like that, you say, you know what, I want to stay with my existing vendors, but I want to route my calls through the Teams. Or you have your own PSTN and on premises and you want to route it. Depends on the vendor you're using or the hardware you have. You can take advantage of the Operator Connect or direct routing. The only thing I find that when you go with the Operator Connect or direct routing is that if you run into issues, now you have to deal with the multi-vendors and so on. And again, if it's possible, I would say that go with the Microsoft as PSTN is your best bet. The other option that it is more recent is a Teams Phone with a Teams Phone Mobile. This is a great idea, but I would say that really hasn't taken off yet. But as we work in a hybrid world, and there are lots of organizations that provide mobile devices, why do we need to have a different phone number for mobile device and your desk phone? And what does the Teams Phone Mobile does? So in Canada, only Rogers provide this service that allow you that your phone number on your mobile device also rings on your Teams. So you have one number regardless. And the way it works, that you only need the phone system licensing with the Microsoft, and your calling plan is with Rogers because you already have that service with Rogers. So you don't have to pay that extra thing. So there is a fee to kind of enable the Teams Phone Mobile. So it's not free that you can do that. But again, if you need additional information, we'd be happy to assist you with that. But it is a great idea, I would say, that have one number, and because it doesn't matter where the person is, and you can reach them. And next thing that, again, it's coming soon is very exciting because lots of people ask, because some traditional system that people have are the VoIP system there are capability to give them SMS thing. And that's coming soon. And actually, kind of the rollout is this month. Is the rollout supposed to start? And it is going to be a start with the US and Canada. So this is very exciting, and it should be part of the calling plan. Unfortunately, I don't have more detail on that, but it is coming. So how great it is. Because right now, when you give some people's phone number, they make an assumption that's your mobile and trying to send you text, and they're kind of say, okay, why don't you respond? And you have to say, well, this is my desk number. So if that obstacle goes away, it's going to be even. I think is a very great future, and we will have more information on it shortly. But we are very excited about that. About this feature, as simple as it is, but how great it is that if you get SMS messages, it shows on your Teams and you can respond to it right on your Teams. You don't have to go to your mobile phone to do that. And that's all based off your desk phone number.
John, just to break in for a moment, there was a question a couple minutes ago about how Teams handles 911 calls, either going out from, I guess, the desktop if you're in the office, or being routed from your mobile app on your smartphone. I don't know if you've got any additional information that you can share about how a 911 call would get routed out at Teams.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you so much. So the calls goes from the device you're making a call. So the way that's set up, that the admin will set it up, that based off your location, your Teams will update itself. Right now, if I go my Teams and look at the location, it's updated based where I am. If I go home and that location changes, so they have added that thing. So it's not initially when the Teams came out with the phone, the location was your office address because it was that. So they have added that location awareness. So it will be from that. So if you call it from mobile phone, we'll know where you are and do that. But again, yeah, so it is just depends on the device you're on and where the location of the device is. It should sense where you are. And it's pretty accurate because if I look at my location, I didn't put it in and it knows which building I'm in. Yeah, but that's a great question. And I hope that answered what you were looking for. All right. So next thing on the devices, right? So that's again, that's a great thing about any phone system, flexibility of the devices I can use, right? Again, we're on the Teams right now, and you can see I have an image of the bunch of devices. The one on the left side is the Voyager 360 communication. That's our giveaway for today, and those are amazing. By the way, they also come with a special cable that you can connect it. If you're traveling, you can put this one into the on the airplane. There's a connector that connects this with the base, so you don't have to use the airplane headsets anymore. This will do it, and you can listen through these headsets if you're watching a movie or listen to music on the airplane. Again, there are different models. Every model you can look at. The next one is with a stereo one with a headset, and the base is a charger. The one in the middle is the speaker version, right? So it's just you want to take a call. Maybe you're in the huddle with a few people. You want to take the call. You can do that, and you can see it's also waterproof, those devices, because you can travel with that, and it also charges. The next one is the Voyager, is the one I'm using. The great thing about these devices are they're very light, and actually they sit on your ear and doesn't poke into your ear. So it's very comfortable. You can wear it all day. The charging is great. All the control is on it because they're all Teams certified devices. So they all have the Teams control on it. I can hang up, I can mute, I can change the volume on this. So it's very easy, and the call quality is great. And even you take these calls with these devices, especially this one on the second one from the right, that device in the loud noise, you'd be surprised. A few weeks ago, we were doing a presentation, and the alarm building fire alarm went on, and one of my colleagues was presenting. You could not hear anything because it is smart enough to kind of understand your location, your voice, and distinguish that between the other noise around you. For traditional, if people like the traditional handsets, those are also available too. They come in different flavors, and you might say, you know what, my organization have some old phones that we want to reuse that. So that's also possible. You need to look at the model of it. So that's also possible. You can reuse some of the devices you had within your organization. So that's definitely possible. But again, we are a big fan of the HP Poly devices because the quality is second to none. And I think they're one of the best vendors out there. All right, and next thing is about it, and people always ask, how is that Microsoft compare with the other organization that provide those service? And you might get a call from them, and they all make an assumption those things. So this is the Magic Quadrant by the Gartner. Microsoft has been on top for 6 years in a row, right? So the closest one is Cisco, of course. Then you got Zoom, RingCentral, 8x8, and other vendors. So by far they are leading, and that's been the case for 6 years in a row. And that's not a small task to achieve, to be there. And also you have to kind of remember companies like a RingCentral, 8x8 or Zoom, the phone is the only thing they do. And they cannot catch up to Microsoft on what they have to offer. So that's for sure, it is great. So let me give you a short demo of this thing. I know we are short on time. And by the way, if anybody needs additional information and if we didn't cover something, we're always available. You have our information. We'd be happy to provide demos in more detail for you later. So I'm just going to bring up my screen here. This is the test users we have. Alice here. That again, when you come into Teams, you can see we have all those icons. Of course, you have on the left side, right? So on the calls now, once you have the license, this will light up, right, with the numbers and tells you what your numbers are, right? So again, I can make an outgoing call and I can receive incoming calls as well with the number. And of course, as always, within the Teams, you can call your colleague. So if I want to, if Alice want to reach out to me, I can just type my name. So that's a VoIP call within organizations. It's almost like having a meeting with somebody of your colleague. But now you also can go in and just dial a number externally. That's available. The interface is very easy to kind of navigate. Again, you have a history of your calls. You got all you have all your missed calls here. You got the incoming calls. And let me just make this one a bit larger, the screen here, so it's easier to see, right? So missed call, your outgoing calls you had, and duration, and a voicemail, as I mentioned. And you can look at check out your voicemail and all the numbers you have received and the transcript of it, if it was. In this case, wasn't available. And of course, I don't have one with it. Oh, here. About this call, you can reach that number and you can listen to the transcript. And also, it says forwarded to the voicemail at what date, what time was that? So October 10th, 5:17, and you go with it. And also, you can kind of look at it and say, what you're searching for something, you want to narrow it down. You can also filter it in case you have lots of information here that you want to narrow it down. On the screen, one of the things I didn't mention, it was parked call, right? So this is a great feature as well. Let's just say one of your colleagues receive a call, but they don't know who to forward it to. So you can park that call and you can go on the Teams and message your colleague and say, you know what, who knows about this matter? Pick up the parked call. So they can go in and just go parked calls and then just pick up the number. They just type the 4-digit number and then you can pick up the call, as easy as that. And with the location, as you mentioned, 911, and again, this is a browser open in the private mode. It's not showing anything, but you can add your location as well. So I can just put in this case, see if it's gonna bring it up. Again, I'll open this in a private mode and it's not accepting that. But if you want, you can also put it manually here. So I can put the a straight number, sorry. I need to follow the instruction here. And yeah, then you can add it manually and that would be there. But again, if with a private, it wasn't in a private mode, you would be able to see that and set it up. And also have some other option too. Forwarding, do not forward that. One thing about the phone Teams, if you get a call and you're in a meeting, let's just say I'm presenting right now. Somebody call me, my screen won't ring because I'm sharing my screen, especially it will go to the voicemail directly. And you also have lots of options here. If I go to the settings here for the end user, and you go to the calls, you have lots of options. Forward our calls, you can do it. Do not ring anyone else, or you can, when you receive the call, you can do that. How long before redirect to your voicemail calls for you, and you can manage lots of things. So there's lots of options here. You can even set up your own personal greeting if you want to, and so on. So it is it is great that lots of features for the users and also on the admin side as well. So that's to cover that. Let me just go back to my presentation here. Sorry, give me 1 second. Go back here. Talk about a few other things that I want to bring up with the pricing, licensing and pricing. So there are 5 models I would say here. So team phone is standard. Again, for the teams to work, need 2 elements: Teams phone and calling plan, right? So that's what you need. So again, sometimes you need a team phone standard only because you're going to do direct routing or that we mentioned or operator connect. So that's only need that, and the calling plan will be part of the service you have. And the second option that we talk, I'm going to go to detail to this one too: pay-as-you-go calling, domestic and international calling, and if you have an E5 licenses and how that works. So team phone standard is that does not include the Microsoft provided calling plan. And again, this is for people they're going to use their own existing phone line with the Microsoft team. And that's the operator connect and direct routing. The Teams phone with the pay-as-you-go calling, that means you don't know how much you're going to be using, all right? But you just say, you know what, my usage is not that much. I don't want to pay for the full license. I'm going to pay per go, and that's being charged per minute. Teams phone with domestic calling plan. This is the most used license that our clients use. Again, when you said domestic, by the way, is US and Canada for us in Canada, and it's at 3,000 minutes. And then the minutes are pooled, so that's important, right? So you're not paying for the per person if you run out of that is pooled. So again, that should work. For people that need international, domestic and international, they can go with this. So just have to remember, you don't have to have one or other. You can mix them, match them. Let's just say you have a user that need to make international calls. You can get them this license. Everybody else could be domestic one. So you can mix them all together. And if you have a E5 license, has a phone system built into it. So you only need to buy the calling plan in that case. So their prices are in a Canadian currency. They are user per month and they are annual contract. So that's how it is. So phone team standard is $10.90 a month. As per you go is $13.60 plus, of course, usage. And as I mentioned, the Teams phone with the domestic calling is a $24.40, and that's the most common license that we see people use. Teams phone with domestic and international ones is $43 a month, and the E5 license is of course that. But for E5 license, you need to get a calling plan to go with it. So that's additional on that. But again, the team phone standard, which is $10.90, is included in E5 licenses. So that's important to keep in mind. All right, again, some additional resources you need. Again, I will post this presentation on our website, and it should be available tomorrow. The video going to be available shortly this afternoon on the YouTube channel. So again, the calling plan, you can look at them. Team-enabled devices, there are lots of devices available out there. Again, our preferences, because of the quality, we want to make sure we recommend something, we can stand behind it. We go with HP Poly, but there are other vendors as well that provide devices for the phones and the meeting room and so on. Microsoft Remote Connectivity Analyzer. This is important because sometimes they say, oh, my quality of service is not good or those things. So you can run an analyzer, you can see where the location you are, is that the bandwidth is good or those things. So that's a good thing. Actually, when you go to the analyzer, you have bunch of other services available to kind of make sure your Microsoft 365 tenant is running well. If for those interested to kind of read more about that, the magic quadrant that I shared earlier, you also can find that on that link as well. As I mentioned, we're gonna do a draw for the Poly Voyager 360. So how are we gonna do this thing? I need you to kind of do me a favor, and I need you to raise your hand. Once you raise your hand, it will show me that who are the people are. Just go through that if you don't mind. Yes, just raise your hand, and wonderful. And you can see everybody raise their hand. They got a number associated with it, right? So let's just see how many people we have. And you can take your time. As you raise your hand, just leave it there. It's not Not going to matter if you raise it faster or not, but the number beside it is important. And I have the second page here. So we have so far, we got 12 people, 13 people. That's fantastic. All right, just keep that. Just a couple of other things I want to share, and we're going to do the draw. So upcoming events, we run these events every Tuesday, third Tuesday of each month. We had to move this one because of the scheduling conflict, but check our website. We have great events coming all on the Microsoft area. That's what we are. We are our expertise in Microsoft 365 Cloud, and we are here to provide you with the knowledge and the kind of next steps. So check this site out. If any of them interest you, just register for that. If you find that today's presentation beneficial and you like what you heard, that the QR code get us to the Google. You can scan that with your phone. I leave that on for 2 seconds. You can do that, and then what we will do, just leave us a review. Hopefully, you find that we did a 5-star job. So I would appreciate that. That said, just for the transparency reason, I'm going to bring this screen up and say how many people we have here so far. I have 14. I have 14 people have raised their hand, and I don't know why the rest of the people are. I have a couple of more people. It would be great if they could raise their hand. All right, so what was the last number here? So what I have here, this is a fun wheel. And I think we had 14 here. I'm gonna reduce that. Let me double check this. I apologize. I'm not taking too much of your time. Oh, we got 17. Oh, perfect. Good. Okay. 15, 16, and 17. I think that's the last number. 1 second. Let me see that. Yeah, we got 17. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna do the draw. I'm gonna see who's gonna win this. Number 8. And number 8 on our list is John Hilden. If you don't mind, just you can message me and please send me your address. We will have this device shipped to you. Congratulations. I want to thank you all for attending today's session. And I hope you find it beneficial. You have any question, anything we can help you additionally, let us know. And we will be happy to kind of even have a more customized demo for you in later time. Thank you again and have a wonderful day.